Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage, welcome to, a very exciting interview with someone that I've interviewed countless times. Everybody knows him, Bill Hart. What's up, Bill?
Dave, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. Well, this is the first interview we've done on the other side of the launch of White Collar Warrior. I was blessed to have you on the Mortgage Coach community the day you launched it, but this is our first call afterwards. How's it going, man?
It's going so well, man, and thank you so much for the opportunity to have been the first. That was very cool. That I think it was May 22nd, right? Wasn't it the day the book was released? Yeah.
You know the date, yeah.
Well, I tell you why I know it. I know it because Nicole Solari sent me a knife engraved with White Collar Warrior and the date of the book release. Like, what an amazing gift. What a class act.
Yeah, she is.
That's how I remember the date. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Nicole is amazing. And by the way, folks, I'm going to put a link down below to one of Nicole Solari's interviews on how to get leads at open houses. That's pretty cool that she did that. And I know she really loves your book. So
yeah, she was awesome. Yeah, I think she bought like 50 copies. So I'm actually measuring the value of my friends by the volume of the books that they buy.
Oh, easy now. Don't put that kind of pressure on
me. I'm not really doing that. I'm not.
But I have bought a case.
Indeed.
Yeah. So by the way, folks, I'm going to put a link down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link down below, May 22nd. Awesome interview. Well, hey, I have a lot of friends that are speakers. I have a lot of friends that write books. And anytime you have a friend that, has a book, you read it, and sometimes you read a chapter, sometimes you read a couple chapters. Every once in a while, you get through a whole book. Yeah. And by the way, you promote their book, whether you love it or not.
No doubt.
Through it or not, but I have to tell you, I didn't just, again, I'm ADD and dyslexic, didn't read the entire thing, but I listened to the whole audiobook. And by the way, folks, this is one of those audiobooks, just like Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership, where anytime the author is the one, telling the stories, explaining the strategies, it's just better. But it's
You're going to want to listen to this book. That's the way Jocko would say it. Right.
Yeah. Well, I love, that book.
Likewise.
But dude, your book is crazy. It is one of the top sales books I would give every salesperson. My son, if he gets in sales, this is going to be one of the books I give him. And I tell him, you need to read it. You need to listen to it, read it or listen to it, do both. It's really exceptional, man.
I really appreciate it, Dave. Coincidentally, I've given it to my son for the same reason, and I'm coaching him, which is a whole nother conversation. But I'm just thrilled, man. I'm thrilled to hear you say that. We're getting great feedback on the book, great reviews, really great acceptance in the market. And if I'm objective about it, bud, 30 years in the business, tons of stories, 15 years of coaching. If I couldn't put together a decent story about what I've learned, I probably should never have started it. So in hindsight, it's like, this guy should have a decent assembly of stories, lessons, and actions that people can take that will help them. So I'm grateful.
Good. Well, let's get into one that I think is super on point. And for anyone listening to this, we recorded this August, 9th, 2018. We're in the mortgage space. Just announced that Zillow bought a mortgage company. Lots of talk that Amazon's coming into the space. Loan officers are afraid of what their future looks like. Real estate professionals are concerned about what their future looks like. And yet I talk to loan officers every day that are up 20%, up 30%. And I believe in my heart of hearts, if you're a local referral-based loan officer, future's bright, but here's the deal. Technology is not going to kill you, but loan officers who use technology and loan officers who grind it out and do the right things are going to completely crush loan officers that don't. I don't know. You buy into that, Bill?
100%, man. 100%. We just came back from a master's coach event in Aspen last week where we had the entire group with their teams re-engineer their loan flow from the customer's perspective, right? So the setup was, if the lion on the hill is Quicken and Rocket and there's a certain amount of cream that they're going to take off the top, and they are, and it's more every quarter, if that's real, then what's left for us is a way to differentiate, as you just said, and it's a way to differentiate with technology, and it's a way to differentiate by looking at the transaction from the consumer's perspective. We haven't been doing that very well in the mortgage space. So I think there's a huge opportunity there.
Yeah, and by the way, here's another perspective for anyone watching this, and then we're going to get into a lesson that Bill's going to provide that truly, if you listen, if you re-listen, if you own it, it could mean some real big success between now and the end of the year. But here's a perspective I think a lot of even C-suite executives don't think about, is that the consumer's perspective is they want a Zillow/Redfin experience. And I'm not going to name names, but there are technologies in our business that are not at that level. By the way, I am proud to say Mortgage Coach Total Cost Analysis, and I actually talked to an executive today that literally said, hey, we have all these tools, we have all this technology, but Mortgage Coach Total Cost Analysis is the only one that's at that Zillow, Redfin, consumer quality.
Great compliment, man.
Yep. By the way, we even had testimonials from Redfin employees that love Mortgage Coach. So
that's very cool.
So that is cool, and it's, I think, an important delineation that, you know, C-suite execs, loan officers, you need to put the best of the best in front of the family if you want to win. But here's the lesson of the day. I'm going to read this quote from Bill's book. And again, I've read the book, read a third of the book. I've listened to all the audio. I've taken lots of notes. And this just, every time I go through my notes, this just boils up to like, this is it. And here it is, guys. The best of the best march through pain, through rejection, to make contact, to make calls, to have conversations. They attend events. They build solid follow-up plans that generate success. Yeah. By the way, just period, generate success. It's not flashy, it's not sexy, but they grind it out day after day. And that's what separates the average from the exceptional, white collar warrior. So by the way, if you're a mortgage professional, you're like, I like that. If you're a branch manager and you're like, yeah, you know, you need to read the book, because this book is full of like just gems where you just nailed it. But I want to, you know, for the next 5 minutes or however long we riffed, I want you to tell some stories. I want you to anchor that, maybe give some advice to the community so that they can take action on that. You know, they can remember that, and they can wake up a little more motivated in the morning and take better action tomorrow. So, Bill.
Yeah, man, you bet. You bet. So I want to get to the tactical side, but I want to start with a mindset. And the mindset is, I think about those people that I was running through my head when I wrote those words. And you probably saw me post this, I think it was yesterday, but when you embrace your value, right, you'll be less concerned with price. So if I'm a loan originator in today's market, and we all know, I heard it the other day when I saw a little bit of Mike White's interview, which was great, by the way, and you guys were talking about price because you had asked for people to chime in, right, on what their issues were as we're getting slammed by the big banks. The more focused you are on your value and how you bring value to the consumer and the marketplace, the less that becomes an issue. The less that becomes an issue. Dave, I charge 12 grand to go out and give a talk now, whether that's an hour or a day. And you know what? My calendar fills up, and I never apologize for it. It's never an issue because I know what the value is. And if it is an issue, I look for a way to add more value. So it takes it over the top with the client. Like, well, let's do a VIP thing the night before, right? So find a way to deliver value. Now let's get to the tactical side of that quote. When I wrote that, what I was picturing, Dave, was the clients that I've come alongside, right? And I just, that's the way I view it. I haven't built anybody. I haven't created anything. I have good people that come alongside me, and then we work next to each other. But what they do is they create a calendar. Bookspan could speak to this so beautifully because he's got such a great product for this with Win by Noon. But they create a calendar that reflects their highest payoff activities on a consistent basis, with enough flexibility so when stuff blows up, right, when it's quadrant 1, quadrant 3 time that just blows up in your face, this is going to happen, they're able to react to it, but then get back on track. And so what they do day in, day out, whether it's when they wake up, how they work out, what they have for breakfast, what they put in their mind, the calls that they make, when they return emails, systems for that, text, whatever those things are that they do, that's what drives their day. Average people, if we're going to contrast it, average people react during the course of the day, and they tell you they're so busy and I don't know how to do anymore. And you know what? They're doing 4 or 5 loans a month. And ironically, the people in the mortgage business that I just described are doing 20, 25, 30. How is that possible? It's possible because they get clear on the activities that they have to nail every day. And they, as Daniel Harkavy has always said, and it probably wasn't his quote originally, but they say no to the good to say yes to the great. That's how.
So by the way, I hope everybody heard that. Because, the quote, I don't know who said it, probably Jim Collins, that good is the biggest enemy of great. And again, tying that to mortgage coach land, a fee worksheet, an email quoting rates is the enemy to a total cost analysis. And I use that one metaphor because obviously I'm Mr. Mortgage Coach, but you got to go from good to great.
Totally. Perfect example, by the way.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're using your CRM like 50% time, if you're a referral-based local loan officer, that's not going to cut it. You're losing money today, and it's going to cost you even more in 2020 and beyond. You need to capture data on your customers in a place where you can mass customize and mass personalize content. So, and by the way, it's not flashy, it's not sexy. Filling out the TCA, total cost analysis, not flashy, not sexy, but when you deliver it, oh my goodness.
I was going to say, I hope you were going to say that because it's like, yes, when it's delivered, it's very sexy.
Yeah, no doubt. So Bill, I wanted to, as we talked when we started this, let's keep this like a tight call and let's make something that really helps the mortgage coach community wake up tomorrow smarter, better, faster. By the way, we are just trending with new loan officers coming into the space.
That's so cool. Such a great space, dude. What you've done here is spectacular. And you need to know, I think I've said this to you privately. I don't know if I've said it publicly, but I send clients here all the time. It's like, if you need to know, if you want to be aware of what's going on in the industry right now, what the needs are, what the opportunities are, how people are gaining strength and opportunity, you need to be a part of this group. So that's not lip service, man. I'm sending people there.
Well, I love it. And by the way, Bill's referring to, we have the Mortgage Coach Facebook productivity group. So Productivity Mastermind is actually what it's called. And then the YouTube channel. Hopefully you're getting value from this. So by the way, if you did get value, like a reminder, a takeaway, some inspiration, like it, give us a like in Facebook or YouTube. And by the way, if you're a manager, leader, and you think someone needs to hear this message, share it. Share it with them, share it online, share it on LinkedIn. So Bill, as we wrap this up, if you had I don't want to say it has to be 1 minute, 3 minutes, but just one of the things I loved about your book is the way you took stories and you aligned them around lessons and concepts. So if there is a story that you could bring from either a member, Josh Metal's story, or a military, a hero to our country, what story would you say right now to kind of anchor the lesson that we're trying to drive?
Yeah, it's actually not going to be a specific story, Dave. It's going to be more of a generalized story. But if you asked me, Coach, you've been in this business 15 years, 12,000 hours of coaching. If there was a pattern with the most effective people that you see that I could learn from and duplicate, what would it be? Be a good question. I would say, I don't care what you use. I don't care if it's an app on your phone or Outlook or the Win by Noon planner. You have to plan your day and top load it by noon, right? We call out in the book the by noon effect, that you get more done by noon on the non-negotiables that you know are going to move the needle for you than most people do all day. That's it, Dave. I'm not kidding. I would oversimplify it like that. It's what I tell my son right now. I'm coaching a woman that is my honorary daughter in the direct marketing business in Rodan and Fields. I tell her the same thing. Figure out what your needle moving activities are, calls, appointments, TCAs, whatever those things are that you're going to be getting out. Get more of them done by noon than you've done in a day. Then leave the rest of the half of the day to react. That's
I
it.
love, I love that. And by the way, I'm going to recommend another 10-minute video for everyone. It's called Gratefulness for Greatness by Josh Metal.
Mm.
And I'm sure you've watched it. There's a link down below. It's 10 minutes. And it's where Josh talks about, prospecting 2 hours a day, just, from 10 to noon, or I don't know if it's 9 to 11.
Yeah.
But, get that 2 hours of prospecting in. And, so Coach Bill Hart, super appreciate you making time, even though you're big time now. You're not only big time,
Whatever, dude.
You're getting paid $12,000 a day and your schedule's packed.
Very great.
Hopefully you won't forget about us. One more thing, guys. So Bill is such a rock star in our community. We have a playlist. It's called the Bill Hart playlist. So make sure you check that out. Just go to our YouTube channel. There's a Bill Hart playlist. Also, Bill interviews, the best realtors in America. Is it the minimum standard they have to do 60 transactions annually? Yep. Just so if you want to hear Bill interview a realtor that does 60 or more transactions, and by the way, many of them are much more than that. Some of the most successful realtors in America, including Nicole Solari, check it out. There's a playlist for that. I'll put a link down below. Bill, how can people get your book and get your audio? And by the way, if you have another place that you want people to go, tell us what to do.
Super easy. Amazon's the easiest place to go, right? You can get Kindle audio or the hardcover there. If you go to whitecollarwarriorbook.com, there's tons of free things there, interviews with people that I've done, people that I've interviewed for the book, free resources there, tools that you can use. That's the easiest way, man. Those two, whitecollarwarriorbook.com or Amazon.
Well, I know I'm only a one-case friend, and I know I'm going to go to a two-case friend. So if someone wanted to order a case, how would we do that?
They actually do it on Amazon, and if you email me, we've got a system for that. If you want them signed, bill@buildingchampions.com. I have them sent to a P.O. box, and then I get them and sign them and send them back. And it's my pleasure to do it. Every single one, there's a big smile on my face because that's what I had always pictured 6 years ago when I first had the idea for the book. So bill@buildingchampions.com if I can help you with that.
Okay, well, I'm going to give another case. Last time I ordered it, I didn't have time to get them all signed because I was going to an event. Yeah. But, Mortgage Coach Professionals, if you have read Bill's book and you had a favorite quote, I just told you mine. Put yours below. Like if there's a quote or a story in the book, you're just like, boom, put it below. Let's play it forward. Let's keep the white collar warrior trending in the mortgage coach community. And Bill, appreciate you, my brother.
So my pleasure. Thank you so much, Dave. Always appreciate you and the opportunity.
Yeah, I appreciate it.